From backdooring players on one of Minecraft's biggest servers to hackers being investigated by the FBI, Minecraft has seen some of the internet's most dangerous exploits to date. Over the years, many have tried their luck at taking advantage of Minecraft's millions of active users, using them to steal anything from in-game coordinates to personal information, and even forcing them to unknowingly help shut down some of the world's most popular websites. 2b2t is an anarchy Minecraft server that has been around since nearly the beginning of the game and is famous for allowing players to use nearly every possible hacking glitch there is. Because of this, the vast majority of players on the server download clients and modifications that give them a competitive advantage over others through the use of cheats and bugs. But on a server where the rules are so loose, it's not surprising that there are many players who have ill intent or will do whatever it takes to gain more power and influence over other players. Over the years, many have tried to gain an advantage over others by making clients for others to download which are either faulty or filled to the brim with malware. But most often, this only happened on a small scale in the community, which is what set Phobos so far apart from the rest. Phobos was originally a private client developed by 4 players named Earthquake, Crystalling, O'Hare, and Megan. Being developed by 2b2t players, Phobos had a seemingly unbeatable mod that allowed players to win just about every crystal fight that they had on the server. Due to the client's insanely strong capabilities, many were eager to gain access to it, including a 2b2t group known as the Imperium. The Imperium attempted repeatedly to gain access to the client's code in several ways, eventually succeeding by sneaking a token logger into ironically another client that was downloaded by one of the owners, Crystalline. After noticing the vulnerability, the 4 owners of Phobos panicked and decided to release their client's code to the public, not wanting to let the Imperium use it privately and have an advantage over the other players in group. After being publicly released, Phobos went viral in the 2b2t community, getting hundreds of thousands of downloads within its first day and being used over 4,000 times on the server in the first 48 hours. Quickly, the client started to be re-uploaded onto the internet, and to get revenge, the owners of Phobos decided to release a quote-unquote updated version of the client, which secretly contained something known as a remote access Trojan. The rat would upload the user's passwords for not only Minecraft, but other sites like Discord and Chrome, as well as desktop screenshots and computer files, all to a remote server where they could be accessed. This allowed the owners to access the personal information of tons of 2b2t players, as well as giving them access to things such as private clients and coordinate screenshots, which could be used on the server to gain extreme power. Eventually, the backdoor was exposed by another programmer and client developer named 0x22, at which point the developers immediately removed the backdoor code, but it was far too late, with over 15 bases on 2b2t being griefed in the span of only a few days, along with countless pieces of private information being leaked and many victims of the client even reporting it to the FBI. But this isn't the only time that federal authorities got involved in a Minecraft related situation, but more on that later. Also, if you don't want to be backdoored, then make sure to subscribe or I'll literally hack in your computer and subscribe anyway. Minecraft is the most pirated game in the world, and as with anything that's downloaded illegally from the internet, this comes with massive risk. T-Launcher is by far the most famous cracked Minecraft client in the entire world, with millions of players having downloaded and used the application. What's even crazier though is that Notch himself even stated at one point that he thought players should pirate the game to see if they liked it before buying it, something which inevitably drove huge amounts of traffic to cracked Minecraft launchers such as T-Launcher. Over the years, T-Launcher has remained a hot topic, with many believing it to be completely safe and others extremely wary of its code, which according to a YouTuber called the Mr. Epic should not be on any Minecraft related client whatsoever and may potentially have impacts on any computer it's downloaded on. The developers of T-Launcher went on to discover the Mr. Epic's video where he stated this, to which they responded by posting an article strongly denying any accusations against them, as well as slightly more recently posting this article where once again they deny the accusations of T-Launcher being a computer virus. The conclusion that most T-Launcher users seem to have drawn is that the client itself is generally safe, as most who have downloaded it through their official website state that they have never had any issues, and that the problem with malware mainly stems from users downloading it from external sites that may have altered the client's code and re-uploaded it. But while it's very easy to exploit PC users through a downloaded file, sometimes it can be even easier to have them download nothing at all. The Log4j exploit is by far the most dangerous exploit that has ever hit the Minecraft community. Unlike other exploits that work through having players download a client, Log4j did not require the victim to download anything onto their computer at all, and even crazier, it only took one single message in the in-game chat to accomplish unbelievably dangerous things. These would range from things as simple as kicking players off of servers at any time to being able to access all of the files on their computer. The exploit itself spans far beyond the world of Minecraft, being an extremely well-known security vulnerability inside of the Java programming language's logging library. The vulnerability allowed for someone to use a single line of code to remotely access someone else's computer, and when the exploit first became publicized, many were quick to realize how damaging it could be inside of Minecraft, a game that that entirely runs on Java. Using that very same single line of code in the game would allow for a complete remote access and control of the computers of others on a multiplayer server, and could even be used to steal their personal information as well. Word about the exploit spread quickly, and soon even the most regular users with no coding experience were able to cause catastrophic damage. With such a severe security vulnerability, players were quickly advised to stay off multiplayer servers, especially large-scale networks where tens of thousands of players could be placing themselves at risk. And even 2b2t, a server which pretty much allows anything to happen on it, shut down its servers to keep its player base safe from malicious intent. But what happens when malicious intent evolves into a federal crime investigation? Parrish John, known by his internet alias annasenpai, wrote the code responsible for one of the biggest internet attacks of the past decade, a hack called Mirai that had extreme power and would end up costing its victims millions of dollars. The Mirai hack worked by creating a collection of computers that it had infected with malware and was able to control each device without the knowledge of the owner. Before they were caught, annasenpai and his co-conspirators were able to accumulate hundreds of thousands of infected computers which they could use to send mass cyber attacks wherever they wanted. annasenpai used this hack as a business model, using it to shut down servers at the request of other servers in order to help boost traffic in their direction in return for compensation. Through this, he was able to accumulate a ton of money from servers that wanted to boost more traffic in their direction, and on top of his Minecraft scheme, annasenpai would also repeatedly attack his university's computer network, causing the university to spend over $3 million in cybersecurity upgrades, but of course that still didn't stop him. Eventually, however, annasenpai would do a 180 in his business model, instead helping Minecraft servers prevent DDoS attacks, something that was already an extremely lucrative business model, but annasenpai had an idea to make it a little more profitable. annasenpai decided to start attacking Minecraft servers with Mirai, using it to scare them into purchasing DDoS protection services, which of course brought even more traffic to his own service, now making him money from both ends of the business. At this point, annasenpai had committed numerous cyber crimes, and now the FBI was close on his tail. So he did what any reasonable person would do, he quit. But right before he did that, he decided to release Mirai's code to the public for countless other hackers to take advantage of in hopes that it may cover his tracks. With his new insanely powerful software at their fingertips, the hackers of the internet didn't take long to expand beyond Minecraft, starting to use the program to attack internet sites such as Reddit, Twitter, Netflix, GitHub, and Spotify. Despite his efforts to cover his tracks, annasenpai would eventually go on to be caught by the FBI, who in federal court got him to admit to repeatedly crashing his university's computer network with the same software Mirai. His charges faced him with up to 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine, and eventually he was sentenced by a federal judge to 6 months of home confinement, but a payment of $8.6 million in restitution for his role in the computer attack against the university. In addition, he was sentenced to 5 years of supervised release and 2,500 hours of community service. Seemingly, he was never charged for his actions inside of Minecraft, and he also faced zero consequences for the hackers that went on to use his code to shut down some of the world's biggest websites. If you did enjoy this video, please do consider subscribing because we're so close to 50k and it would mean the absolute world.